What were the emotions like and/or feelings when you got the call that you were being offered the position of head coach at St. Francis?
The feeling was it was a fit. It was a fit from the beginning. I felt as soon as I came in, meeting all the administrators, everybody was so welcoming. The small family that drew me to the position. So I was excited. I was excited to have the opportunity and to stay within the tri-state area.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball, a brand that defines us, a brand that tells our story, a brand that doesn't quit. Don't play for yourself. Play for the person next to you. 100% given, 100% of the time. And when there's nothing left, dig deep and find more. All in, ball out, let's get it.
One of my mottos I tell the team is, I'll never put you in a race too high above or too far below, but you're going to be right there in the middle. And this one was more towards here with them. So I'm pleased with the way they ran. Everyone kind of finished within earshot of each other, and that's what you want going into these kind of races. You don't want to have these huge 5-6 minute gaps in between.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball, a brand that defines us, a brand that tells our story, a brand that doesn't quit. Don't play for yourself. Play for the person next to you. 100% given, 100% of the time. And when there's nothing left, dig deep and find more. All in, ball out, let's get it.
For the first time in history, the Bryant Bulldogs Bulldogs are Northeast Conference champions.
While they're focused on success, we're focused on them. Because protecting college athletes doesn't only happen on the field. After the buzzer, it's about healthier student athletes. So we're reforming to meet their needs, investing in groundbreaking research, and changing the conversation around mental health. We're working hard to protect college athletes because prioritizing their well-being creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity through education, healthier campuses, and a fair shot. United as an association, we're building a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
And for the first time in history, the Bryant Bulldogs are Northeast Conference champions. For the first time in history, the Bryant Bulldogs are Northeast Conference champions.
We're making needed changes to college basketball, so student athletes will have the flexibility to go pro when it works best for them. The freedom to return to school if the draft doesn't work out. And the opportunity to finish their degree later in life. Providing a pathway to opportunity is at the heart of everything we do. And we're taking action to support the success of student athletes both on and off the court.
And we welcome you to a crucial showdown here from the Genovese Center on the campus of St. Francis College, Brooklyn, for this afternoon's Northeast Conference women's volleyball matchup featuring the Robert Morris Colonials in first place and the St. Francis Brooklyn Terriers, who come in to this afternoon's contest at 9-12. Robert Morris 18-3, 8-0 in conference play. We welcome you live to the Genovese Center. For everyone here at St. Francis College, Brooklyn, I'm Joey Jarzinka with you on the call for this afternoon's crucial contest. And again, as we've said, we cannot stress it enough, a big afternoon on Alumni Day and Pink Weekend for the women's volleyball team. We look back to yesterday, and Robert Morris had a battle against the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils, where they took 3 out of 4 sets. They lost the first set 25-18 and then came back cruising and won 25-21, 25-20, and 25-16. The same went for the home team, St. Francis College Brooklyn Terriers. They hosted, as we have something coming to us, St. Francis hosted the St. Francis University Red Flash yesterday and swept them in 3 consecutive sets. Just behind, absolutely dominant performances from Lauren Montgomery, who led the team in kills with 12. Terrace Pittman had 9 yesterday. And the best part is Kizzy Rodriguez, 4 aces and 10 digs. We'll get to them in just a moment. Let's get to the players to watch for. We're going to start off with Emma Granger, middle blocker from Dalton, Ohio. And looking at her, she is 6'4". She ranks number 2 in the Northeast Conference in hitting percentage, 369. She also ranks number 3 in kills, 210 and 3.04 kills per set. She also is the leader in the NEC in service, aces, and blocks, where it is a very wide margin. We now look towards the home team and the libero, Kizzy Rodriguez from Las Vegas, Nevada. She is ranked number 3 in digs with 4.27 digs per set. and she's tied in 6th place in the NEC in service aces with Sacred Heart's Sarah Shishik with 22 total service aces. She led the way yesterday, as we did say earlier. 4 aces, 10 digs against St. Francis University, the Red Flash, in a 3-0 sweep. To look at the women's volleyball standings, Robert Morris again leads the way with an 8-game. They're on an 8-game winning streak. They're 18-3 overall, 8-0 in conference play. St. Francis Brooklyn just a few steps down in 5th place, 3-4 in conference play, 9-12 coming off of the win against St. Francis University, PA. So just in a few moments, we're going to get back here to the Genovese Center on Alumni Day and Pink Weekend as we get set to go here from the Genovese Center right here on the Terriers Sports Network. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball, a brand that defines us, a brand that tells our story, a brand that doesn't quit. Don't play for yourself. Play for the person next to you. 100% given, 100% of the time. And when there's nothing left, dig deep and find more. All in, ball out, let's get it.
One of my mottos I tell the team is, I'll never put you in a race too high above or too far below, but you're going to be right there in the middle. And this one was more towards here with them. So I'm pleased with the way they ran. Everyone kind of finished within earshot of each other, and that's what you want going into these kind of races. You don't want to have these huge 5-6 minute gaps in between.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball, a brand that defines us, a brand that tells our story, a brand that doesn't quit. Don't play for yourself. Play for the person next to you. 100% given, 100% of the time. And when there's nothing left, dig deep and find more. All in, ball out, let's get it.
And for the first time in history, the Bryant Bulldogs are Northeast Conference champions.
While they're focused on success, we're focused on them. Because protecting college athletes doesn't only happen on the field. After the buzzer, it's about healthier student athletes. So we're reforming to meet their needs, investing in groundbreaking research, and changing the conversation around mental health. We're working hard to protect college athletes because prioritizing their well-being creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity through education, healthier campuses, and a fair shot. United as an association, we're building a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
And we welcome you back to the Genovese Center right here on the campus of St. Francis College, Brooklyn, for this afternoon's showdown featuring the Robert Morris Colonials and your St. Francis College Brooklyn Terriers. The starters for your Terriers: middle blocker Terrace Pittman, middle blocker Weiss Herkmans, the starting libero Kizzy Rodriguez, the outside hitter Lauren Montgomery, the sophomore setter Angelique Eng, the outside hitter Vanya Milicic, and the defensive specialist in junior Genesis Soto. So a little bit of a different lineup here to kick things off, or to open serve, if you will, as the Robert Morris Colonials 18-3 overall, where they started off on August 30th and went all the way until, or a full month without a loss, where they were swept in the Youngstown State Red and White Invitational on September 20th and 21st in Youngstown, Ohio, where they lost 3-0 to Youngstown State, 3-0 to Central Michigan, and lost 3-2 against Eastern Illinois. They have only lost 2 sets in conference play total against Sacred Heart and CCSU. Looking to the starters for Robert Morris, the starting libero is Nicolette Zanoli, Erica Wilt, and Whitney Brown, Maria Alfano, Emma Granger, Emily Devlin, and Lauren Koelnick. So as we see right away, Robert Morris gets things kicked off here with the first point. And Nicolette Zanoli with the serve. Here's the attack from Montgomery. Emma Granger with the attack and the over. That was Koelnick. And Kizzy Rodriguez could not get a handle on that one, as Robert Morris quickly with a 2-0 start. A little bit about Maceland, Ohio's libero Nicolette Zanoli. 16 digs, 3 total attacks against CCSU yesterday. As your Terriers on the board nice and early, as they trail currently 2-1. The officials for this afternoon's match: the R1, Richard Lubin; the R2, William Scragg. The line judges is Zhao Cha Sammy Han and Song Shin Lo. Those round out the 4 officials for this afternoon's contest. Granger keeps it alive. And leaving a part of the court open were the Terriers. And taking full advantage was the Plum, Pennsylvania native redshirt sophomore Lauren Koelnick. So she transferred from Eastern Kentucky in her freshman year, so this is her first season in Moon Township. As Emma Granger with a little over. So currently 3-2 in favor of the road team. Terrace Pittman, the senior middle blocker, with the serve. And Lauren Montgomery with the attack in the back part of the court. Here's Soto. And back to Herkmans as she obtains the kill. the senior middle blocker from Overloon, Netherlands. Yesterday, 3.5 points, 5 block assists, a kill, and 6 total attacks. As we see a service error from Terrace Pittman. She'll check out for the likes of the libero, Kizzy Rodriguez. This is Milicic. And off of the fingertips of Granger, hits the right antenna, or the far antenna if you're watching at home. Ali Spiewijk will check in, the outside hitter. 5'11" junior from Toledo, Ohio. With the clump in the middle. Angeli Eng with the serve. Granger falls right in front of Lauren Montgomery. To keep the opposition ahead by 1. St. Francis began this 2019 season under the direction of head coach Amable Martinez, first year from the MAC in St. Peter's University. Couldn't get that out of my mouth. So far, 9-12 on the season, 3-4 in conference play. St. Francis has not made the NEC tournament since 1997. And Amable Martinez hoping to add a chapter into the St. Francis College history books. And he's hoping to do that in the first season. Here's Whitney Brown, the setter, with the serve. The attack from Spiewijk. And that one's going to land in for a kill, as that one was off of the palm of Pittsburgh, PA native Whitney Brown. Ali Spiewijk, majoring in business, and her sister checks in Angie Spiewijk. She'll check in the back. Here's Ali, and that one's good for a kill. Takes the first lead of the match, 7-6. And as we did say in the open, Robert Morris has not lost a set since yesterday, and that one was just long. And we're going to see a substitution here as Erica Wilt heads back in. Alyssa Hudek. Will take a seat. This is Pittman. And back. 8-7 in favor of the Terriers. So as we did say earlier, Robert Morris has a combined a two-set loss against CCSU just yesterday, and on October 5th at Sacred Heart. They're currently on a 4-game road trip that began against Merrimack just 2 days ago. So they were almost 150 miles north 2 days ago, and they've played in all 3 days. And their road trip continues on the 30th in Loretto. So they do have a chance to go home, get some rest, as Terrace Pittman gets the block solo on that one. As the Terriers take a 2-point lead here in the first set. So the block will be credited to also Angeli Eng. And coming right back with that one is Maria Alfano, and she quiets the crowd here. Decent crowd here from the Genovese Center. This is Zanoli. And back. Rodriguez with the kill. (10-8). Angie Spiewijk will check out. Milicic Pittman, and Eng all at the front. Here's Kizzy Rodriguez with the reception. And back. Montgomery just hit the top of the tape. And Robert Morris will add one and be down by one. So as we were saying earlier with head coach Amable Martinez, in the Terrier Classic here at St. Francis against NJIT, St. Peter's, and Maryland Eastern Shore, the first time in St. Francis College Brooklyn history that the women's volleyball team has started 3-0. They quickly cooled off with three defeats at the Bucknell Classic. And Robert Morris quickly with three unanswered as they take a 1-point lead, 11-10 here in the first set. Here's Carmody, Milicic. And there's Kowalnik, back for Milicic. And the over. Kizzy Rodriguez, that one heads over. Granger, Genesis Soto, and back as Terrace Pittman gets the kill on that one. In the top right corner on the camera angle. She brings her team back to 11. Here's Granger. Eng. Montgomery with the little tip. All 6'4" of Granger with the little tip on that one again. Here's Kowalnik. And the over as Whitney Brown with the little dump. And that one falls in just around 4 defenders. And Robert Morris takes a 12-11 lead. Genesis Soto. Herkmans. And Milicic gets on that one. Herkmans will also be credited with a block assist on that one, but Milicic had her hands all over that one. 12-12. Is the score on this one. So a tall lineup. Weiss Herkmans has earned it after yesterday's 3.5 points, 5 block assists, a kill, and 6 total attacks. She averages 2 points a match. Angeli Eng, named NEC Prime Performer on September 3rd and September 16th, the week of. Here's Granger, Montgomery, Spiewijk, Kizzy Rodriguez with the over as that one nicks the tape. And again, we're knotted at 13 apiece. Montgomery and back as Maria Alfano, the middle blocker, 6'2", out of Cranberry Township, did not get high enough on that reception where she just had to go on her tippy toes and knock that one down. The Genovese Center is rocking here. As Granger with the serve, Milicic the reception, Montgomery the little tip, Spiewijk, Rodriguez. And St. Francis takes advantage of the mistakes from Robert Morris as it's all tied up at 14 apiece. So Angie Spiewijk is now the libero in here to serve this one up. Spewike 6 digs against St. Peter's was a season high, as that one is going to go in for a service ace. 15-14 in favor of the Terriers. Spewike again. And Herkmans gets all 6'1" of her up to the net and gives the Terriers a 2-point advantage over number 1, Robert Morris. Here she is again. Montgomery coming head to head with Robert Morris at the tape. And Alyssa Hudak with the attack and kill. Medina, Ohio native, sophomore outside hitter, 6 foot. Last year, she ranked fifth on the team in total kills with 101 and kills per set. She averaged 2 kills per set. The left-handed, and it looks like we're going to get a challenge here. And it looks like there may have been some interference on that one. And we're going to take a quick break in just a few moments, and we'll be right back on the opposite side of this break as this challenge is being checked on the opposite side.
One of my mottos I tell the team is, I'll never put you in a race too high above or too far below, but you're going to be right there in the middle. And this one was more towards here with them. So I'm pleased with the way they ran. Everyone kind of finished within earshot of each other, and that's what you want going into these kind of races. You don't want to have these huge 5-6 minute gaps in between.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball, a brand that defines us, a brand that tells our story, a brand that doesn't quit.
So we're back here, all tied up 16 apiece, and exactly what it was, as we did say just a few moments ago, was the touch on the net, challenging that one. And exactly as we did say, the call was head coach Dale Starr in his 10th season. He challenged that immediately, as Robert Morris gets a little bit of a boost from that one. And Weiss Herkmans with the attack and kill directly into the gut of Emily Devlin. Knotted at 17 apiece. This is Kizzy Rodriguez. Koelnick, Pittman with the attack. Back for Devlin. And it looked like that was a two-hander on that one. And it's going to be a point issued to St. Francis. Head coach Dale Starr in his 10th season. He's known for his conference victories, 96-44, but his overall record, 149 and 158. As we see an amazing rally here, and Angeli Eng with a fantastic effort as she dives in the near left corner. For that set. This is Spiewijk, back to Eng. Montgomery, as she gets that one for the kill. 19-18. Currently neck and neck here at the Genovese Center. Full crew on hand here. Cannot thank everybody enough for making all of this happen. This is Robert Morris. And the save there from Rodriguez, and that one falls over. As Robert Morris and Maria Alfano will get credit for that kill. 19 up. This is Zanoli. 188 total digs a season ago. This is Montgomery. And off the fingertips of Erica Wilt for the point. Point number 20 for the Terriers. It's a substitution. Vanya Milicic will check back in. Angie Spiewijk seeing her time on the court increase here today. We'll get to her in just a moment. This is Montgomery with the serve. And trying to pound it home was Kowalnik. But the Terriers take advantage of the unforced error that Robert Morris has caused for themselves. Montgomery, second serve. Low one, almost hit the tape on that one. And Emily Devlin, the right side hitter with the attack and kill. As St. Francis could not reach that one by any means. Low serve once again for Carmody. Montgomery the attack. And over trying to get there was Milicic. She couldn't get it. And Granger, that one comes back and hits Kowalnik in the face. Rodriguez, Milicic the attack. And Robert Morris comes back. And that one's gonna fall in for the attack and kill. Lauren Kowalnik, the outside hitter and right side hitter, knots this one up at 21 apiece. Elena Carmody, defensive specialist, and we're going to see a challenge here. So there are a couple of scenarios in this one. So once again, we will take a break on this one. And we'll be right back on the opposite side of this break right here on the Terrier Sports Network. Do not go away.
And for the first time in history, the Bryant Bulldogs are Northeast Conference champions. For the first time in history, the Bryant Bulldogs are Northeast Conference champions.
we're making needed changes to college basketball. So student athletes will have the flexibility to go pro when it works best for them. The freedom to return to school if the draft doesn't work out. And the opportunity to finish their degree later in life. Providing a pathway to opportunity is at the heart of everything we do. And we're taking action to support the success of student athletes both on and off the court.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball, a brand that defines us, a brand that tells our story, a brand that doesn't quit. Don't play for yourself. Play for the person next to you. 100% given, 100% of the time. And when there's nothing left, dig deep and find more. All in, ball out, let's get it.
It's more than a whistle or a call. We're committed.
So following the second challenge of the game has the R2 William Scragg put to work nice and early as the ruling on the floor is going to stand. So we'll let you know what you missed just now as head coach Amable Martinez did challenge if there was a touch on the net from Lauren Kowelnik as she went in there for that kill just in the last play. And the official and replay official on the opposite side determined that there was no touch. So point was awarded to Robert Morris. Back to Kowelnik again. And Montgomery grabs that one, keeps it alive. Here's the set, back to Kowelnik. And off the fingertips of Eng. Kept alive there by Montgomery. Pittman the over. Emma Granger. Back to Kowelnik with the kill. That one's gonna fall. And that was gonna be credited as a kill. And we're gonna have a timeout taken here by head coach Amable Martinez. And he's not happy about this one. So we'll give you a little background here with a minute 15 here. Cannot thank everybody once again enough for joining us here today on the Terrier Sports Network. I'm Joey Josinka. 22-21 is the score. Robert Morris ahead by 1 as the Terriers currently come off of a 3-0 win here from the Genovese Center against the Red Flash of St. Francis, PA. And currently so far, just a couple of stats, Lauren Montgomery has been beyond sensational as she leads the way with 4.5 points, 8 digs, 4 kills, 13 total attacks. Let's also not forget, too, we have Angie Spiewijk, the twin sister of Allie Spiewijk, who wears number 9. She is seeing playing time here this afternoon and record playing time this season as she has 1 service ace, 1 dig, and she is substituting in and out or subbing in and out with the outside hitter in Serbian native Vanja Milicic. So with Robert Morris taking just a minute of their, or rather Amable Martinez taking just a minute of his timeout time, Robert Morris comes away with the victory, or with the point off the timeout. 23-21 in favor of the opposition. Elena Carmody, 5'7" from Sewickley, Pennsylvania. As Emma Granger and Robert Morris, Kowelnik. And we're going to see another timeout taken here by Amable Martinez. And Emma Granger, Whitney Brown on the block, and attack error from Vanja Milicic. So 24-21 right now. The Terriers currently right now with 3 set points for the opposition. And Robert Morris, as we did say right now, just a few moments ago, were in danger of losing only their 3rd set in conference play. And as this timeout gets set to go, we're going to take a quick 30-second timeout right here on the Terrier Sports Network. We're back on the opposite side of this break.
It's more than a whistle or a call. We're committed to giving college athletes a fair shot, on and off the field. Covering the full cost of attendance, because college costs go beyond tuition.
Back here following the timeout, 24-21 in favor of Robert Morris. This is Carmody with the serve. Milicic with the little dump. Kizzy Rodriguez. Montgomery. Luckily hit the tape on that one. Genesis Soto. Eng. Montgomery. And that one's out. Robert Morris comes away victorious on the first set. As the Terriers fall in this one, but they put up a really good fight, 25-21 against the 18-3 Robert Morris University Colonials. So looking right now on the opposite side for Robert Morris, 3.5 points each for Alfano and also Hudek. 2.5 points for Whitney Brown, 6 points for Lauren Kowelnik. We've also had 2 challenges so far, one by each team in the first set. So it has been a very, very entertaining first set of play here from the Genovese Center. We're going to take a quick break here on the Terrier Sports Network. Right back on the opposite side of this break for set number 2 when we return on Alumni Weekend and Pink Weekend on the Terrier Sports Network, powered by NEC Front Row.
And for the first time in history, the Bryant Bulldogs are Northeast Conference champions.
We're making needed changes to college basketball, so student athletes will have the flexibility to go pro when it works best for them. The freedom to return to school if the draft doesn't work out. And the opportunity to finish their degree later in life. Providing a pathway to opportunity is at the heart of everything we do. And we're taking action to support the success of student athletes both on and off the court.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball. A brand that defines us. A brand that tells our story. A brand that doesn't quit. Don't play for yourself. Play for the person next to you. 100% given. 100% of the time. And when there's nothing left, dig deep and find more. All in. Ball out. Let's get it.
Right back here from the Genovese Center on Alumni Day and Pink Weekend for your St. Francis College Brooklyn Terriers. St. Francis, unfortunately, is down 1-0 as they put up one heck of a fight against the number 1 seed and number 1 in the standings, Robert Morris University. Just checking everything and everybody currently, and we're about to get underway here in the second set. We'll get you some stats and facts in just a moment. As Genesis Soto with the reception, Eng, Pittman with the kill, attack and kill. 1 point for the Terriers. just in the previous set, as we did see. We saw that attacking error, which sealed the deal for the Colonials, as the attacking error came off of number 5, Lauren Montgomery, at the end of the first set, as we see an attacking error, or rather an attack and kill on that one. That one looked like it just landed just inside of the pink tape. And with the count 1-1 right now, in the kill for Emily Devlin. That's her 3rd kill of the afternoon. Milicic back to Rodriguez. Milicic, the soft play on that one. Just in front of the near antenna on your screen. This is Rodriguez with the set. Milicic, the attack, and that one falls in. Off of the fingertips of Erica Wilt. She could not hold on. And 2-1 in favor of the Terriers. A season ago for the Terriers, 10-18 overall. 6-8 in conference play. Did not qualify for the NEC tournament, as we see an attack and kill for Robert Morris. Emily Devlin will check off, or check out rather. And this is Carmody. Spiewijk, the attack. And the kill. Point is awarded to St. Francis. And it looked as if that a couple of the players were not that happy with that call, as Carmody standing near side thought that it was just out. This is Angie Spiewijk. Back to Eng. Montgomery. And for Kowalnik, Kizzy Rodriguez with the save and the over, as Angie Spiewijk and Lauren Montgomery had a little bit of communication issues. This is Spiewijk. Back to Montgomery. Emma Granger. Is that one calling or saying that that one the ball touch on that one? We're calling that a blocking error on Lauren Montgomery. And that's going to be a point for the Terriers, as Montgomery redeems herself on that one. The libero, Kizzy Rodriguez, just in front of us here on the distant center view of the camera. This is Rodriguez, and that one is going to fall in for a service ace, and just inside the line. Looked as if initially St. Francis did not believe that that one stayed in, but line judge says otherwise. Robert Morris keeping it in play. Kowalnik with the attack. Rodriguez with the reception. Montgomery with the attack. My goodness. Pull a lot of mustard on that one, folks. Lauren Montgomery comes in for the kill and gives the Terriers a 3-point lead. Kizzy Rodriguez with the service error. Still the lead is at 6-4 here in set number 2. This is Emma Granger. And that one's going to land in for a service ace. She is the NEC's leader in service aces, now with 43 on the season. Robert Morris also leads the conference in stats up and down. Assists, kills, blocks, service aces, digs, opponent hitting percentage, and offense hitting percentage, as the offense, or the opponent hitting percentage, that one just went up a little bit, as Ali Spiewijk with the attack and the kill gives the Terriers once again a 2-point lead, 7-5. Genesis Soto, the libero and defensive specialist, playing defensive specialist, obviously. Puerto Rican native from Grace Christian School. That's where she went to high school. 2 points, 9 digs, 2 service aces against St. Francis just a night ago. This is Pittman, and getting high enough for that one to block was middle blocker Maria Alfano, and 8-5. In favor of the Terriers. Angie Spiewijk. Brown. Back to Hudek. Montgomery. Just flying that one over the tip of Brown and Alfano. Eng. Pittman. And back with the block there from Montgomery. That one is off the fingertips as all three fall. Just in that little triangle there, Montgomery, Pittman, and Rodriguez, as we see a substitution as Carmody checks out. And Devlin will check back in. Whitney Brown. Genesis Soto. Back to Pittman. And the massive block there from Hudek. Kizzy Rodriguez with that over. Zanoli. Rodriguez. Back to Soto. And this is for Montgomery. And what a rally from the Terriers. My goodness. Making themselves seen here, heard and known. Multiple opportunities at attacks and kills, but St. Francis holds serve, and it's currently now 10-6 as Vanya Milicic and Terrace Pittman with the block assist. And St. Francis currently now with their biggest lead of the afternoon, 10-6. Lauren Montgomery to serve. That one hits the top of the tape. And with the little over, Kizzy Rodriguez. Back to Eng. Milicic with the over. Putting their heart and soul into this one. This would be a crucial victory for the Terriers today if they keep on going this way. Here's Milicic. The little dump. Montgomery with that reception. Pittman. The little dish. Zanoli. The over, Rodriguez. Eng to Milicic. And that one looks like that one was just off of the fingertips, or that's what Milicic thought. And head coach Amable Martinez will be challenging, if able. And he can do exactly that. So we're going to stay on here as Vanya Milicic thought she had the attack and kill. And it did look like from our vantage point here that it did change direction. So either it changed direction or, but we'll see. And currently the St. Francis bench, a little bit of smiles right now. I believe they do think, and that is the case. So it was off of Robert Morris. So point will be issued to St. Francis Brooklyn, as now that is 3 challenges here so far. Good camera work from Terrier Sports Network. Producer Matthew Panico. Thank you very much, everybody, doing amazing work. Lauren Montgomery will continue serving. So 11-6 is the score in favor of the Terriers. 5-point lead, the biggest one of the afternoon, as Lauren Montgomery serves just long and gives the ball right back to the Colonials. Milicic once again, and that one unfortunately was an attacking error. That one looked like that one landed or she made contact with the ball a little awkwardly on that one. Still a 3-point cushion, definitely not the safest against this Robert Morris team. And Angeli Eng with a left-handed attack. That one landed just out of bounds. And the lead beginning to trickle. Now to 2, 11-9. This is Erica Wilt. Back to Eng. Pittman. And with the big block from 6-foot redshirt sophomore Lauren Kowelnick. As that one looked like it nicked the far antenna. And the score is going to be 12-9. So a little bit of miscommunication there. That's my fault on that one. But Maria Alfano with the attack and kill as she hops nice and high for the 10th point of the second set for the Colonials. Here's Eng. And Weiss Herkmans with the tiny jump. Knew exactly where she was going with that one as Herkmans gives the Terriers a 3-point lead, 13-10 here in the second set. Here's Eng with the serve. Received there by Wilt. Milicic and Herkmans, they began to celebrate just a little early. Spiewijk and Granger, they're calling that one out. Point for the Terriers, just lands out, says line judge Song Shin Lo. Eng remains on serve. She had 2 service aces yesterday, 4 kills. Another block there from Spiewijk. Montgomery. Milicic with the block. Spiewijk with the set. Milicic with the attack, but there was a pair of Colonial defenders there. And point issued to the Terriers. And we're going to have a timeout here from the Colonials. The kill from Ali Spiewijk gives the Terriers a 5-point lead. So we're going to take a quick break here with the score 15-10 in favor of your Terriers right here on the Terrier Sports Network, powered by NEC Front Row. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break. Do not go away.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball. A brand that defines us. A brand that tells our story. A brand that doesn't quit. Don't play for yourself. Play for the person next to you. 100% given. 100% of the time.
A 5-point lead for the Terriers here from the Genovese Center right here on the Terrier Sports Network. Once again, we cannot thank you all enough for joining us here this afternoon on Alumni Day and Pink Weekend in Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the month of October. I'm Joey Jarzinka. And a battle between Robert Morris and the 5th place St. Francis Brooklyn Terriers. You could not have asked for a better match this afternoon as the Robert Morris Colonials 18-3. They come into this afternoon's contest 8-0 in conference play as Lauren Kowelnick with the attack and kill. And if you're just joining us now, Amable Martinez did make a change in his starting lineup as he had Weiss Herkmans and he had Genesis Soto, the defensive specialist, in the starting lineup, obviously, with the likes of Emma Granger on the opposite side. NEC leader in almost every category. And she comes in, as do the rest of her Colonials, currently right now down by 4. This is Kowalnik. Back to Montgomery. Eng and Milicic. Zanoli, the libero, with the set on that one. And Robert Morris with the attacking error. Angie Spiewijk comes in here for the serve. 16-11, currently up by 5. We'll see what the Toledo, Ohio native has here. This is Granger. And Angie Spiewijk could not get back on that one, as Emma Granger registers another attack and kill. So we look now at redshirt sophomore Lauren Kowalnik. She didn't play last year. Majors organizational leadership, career high 19 points, 16 kills, 5 total blocks against Eastern Illinois a season ago, or rather in the beginning of the year. My apologies. And that Eastern Illinois match was one of 3 matches this season that the Colonials fell. And Rodriguez with the ace. 18-12. As Kizzy Rodriguez, the 3-time prime performer this season in the Northeast Conference, continues to serve. This is Rodriguez. And that one's going to fall in, or fall out, rather. As one service ace, one service error, and the rotation moves away. Pablo Martinez with a little chuckle on that one as we see Clements. Or rather, Hudek, my mistake. And Granger. Rather, that was Granger. My mistake on that one, ladies and gentlemen, as Emma Granger is the server on this one. Here's Angie Spiewijk with the reception. Allie Spiewijk with the attack. Back here for Hudek. Rodriguez. Montgomery with the little poke. That one goes over. Kizzy Rodriguez. And Allie Spiewijk, the attack. And back for Carmody. Allie Spiewijk again. The opposite direction attack. Eng to Montgomery. The attack and the kill. Just falls directly in front of the Robert Morris bench. 19-14 is your score. Allie Spiewijk will check out now with a 5-point lead. Genesis Soto just to the right of me here with the serve. Carmody with the reception. Hudek. Angie Spiewijk saves this one. Genesis Soto. Montgomery with the attack. Genesis Soto, the defensive specialist, showing what she has on defense. And there she is again in the pile. Getting her hand on that one was Eng. Here is Hudek. That one is out. 20-14, a 6-point lead. And head coach Dale Starr shaking his head. He knows exactly what the deal was. Let's just make sure that the substitution checks in properly. And it looks like that they're awarding the point to Robert Morris. So the kill will be registered now to Hudek. Maybe a touch on that one, but a change call there by the R2 and William Scragg. Here's Montgomery. Genesis Soto. Eng keeps it alive. The over, Angie Spiewijk. And the attack and kill. Genesis Soto can only do so much. A 3-point deficit now for the Colonials. Angie Spiewijk with the reception. Lauren Montgomery with the attack directly into the hands of Maria Alfano and Emily Devlin, as we have now seen 3 unanswered points for the Robert Morris Colonials. So currently right now, from what was a 6-point lead that eventually became a 5-point lead, is now down to 2 as head coach Amable Martinez takes a timeout. Lauren Montgomery, though, leads the way with 8.5 points, 11 digs, 31 total attacks, 8 kills, and 4 errors. On the opposite side, Maria Alfano, 5 kills, 17 attacks, 7.5 total points. But something that we did want to touch upon was Robert Morris's Emma Granger, who I did not get into much before, but she leads the way in almost every Robert Morris category in career ranks. She ranks 7th in service aces, 114, heading into the season. But also, just a season ago, 2-time All-NEC first team in 2017 and 18, and ranked 5th in career kills across the state of Ohio. Now that's a stat that's definitely something to watch out for, as Emma Granger only has 3 today with 15 attacks. So 12 of those have been stopped by the Terriers, and they have done their due diligence on the 6'4" outside hitter, rather middle blocker. Here's Kizzy Rodriguez. Montgomery with the little tip, and that one's gonna fall in for the attack and kill. Substitution as Angie Spiewijk checks out. Vanya Milicic will check back in, and Lauren Montgomery will now serve here with a 3-point lead. And it's going to be a service error, as that one is her second one of the afternoon. Junior outside hitter and defensive specialist Erica Wilt to take the serve. Milicic, Eng, Pittman with the attack. That one was received there by Robert Morris. Lauren Montgomery, and that one's going to fall out and head out of bounds just to the far side of the screen, where you see the far side antenna went behind that. So now Robert Morris now down by 1. They've currently come back, and they're on a 6-1 run, or rather 5-1 run. But Terrace Pittman quiets me down. She narrows the lead, extends the lead to 2. St. Francis Brooklyn Terriers 4 points away from from knotting the set 1-1. As Robert Morris again quiets me down as they narrow the lead to 1, 21-20. But the Terriers, as we said, are not going away, keeping everything close, keeping Robert Morris in check. Here's Montgomery. Milicic with the over, and that one is going to be just far. And Robert Morris, following the 2 out of 3 errors by the Terriers, have tied this matchup at 21 apiece. Milicic, Montgomery, she goes into the bleachers here, and Robert Morris has their first lead in this second set, 22-21. This is Zanoli, the libero, keeping things at a faster pace. Milicic, that one was off the tape. Zanoli, back to Devlin. Herkmans with the over. Double block there from Granger and from Koelnick. Soto, Eng, Milicic. That one falls in for the attack and kill. Past the diving Zanoli and Wilt. We're now at 22 apiece. Angeli Eng, co-player of the week on week number 1 of eligibility on 9-3, as we see Emma Granger with the attack and kill. As we're going to see a substitution with Elena Carmody checking in for the likes of Emily Devlin. 23-22 in favor of the Colonials. Rodriguez with the reception. Eng, Ali Spiewijk, and the big block there from Koelnick. Rodriguez with the over. Granger, the attack. Big save there from Eng. And Koelnick. Rodriguez to Spiewijk with the little dish. Saved there by Zanoli. And Emma Granger, puts that one directly in the corner. My goodness, that ball had eyes, folks. That one landed just inside the court. So right now, Amable Martinez will take a timeout. And as are we. We're going to take a timeout right here on the Terrier Sports Network, powered by NEC Front Row. The Terriers currently down by 2 in the second set, 24-22 following this break. We'll be right back on the opposite side here on the Terrier Sports Network.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball. A brand that defines us. A brand that tells our story. A brand that doesn't quit. Don't play for yourself. Play for the person next to you. 100% given. 100% of the time. And when there's nothing left, dig deep and find more.
So following the timeout here, Amable Martinez, who took that one. Una Stevic will be checking into the match. Vanya Milicic takes a seat here, holding her shoulder as Robert Morris comes away with the second set victory. Right now, as we did say, Vanya Milicic currently favoring her right shoulder. And currently a 2-0 set lead. So as Pink Weekend continues here from the Genovese Center, we'll be right back on the opposite side of this break to get set for set number 3 as the Colonials have a 2-set-to-love lead here from the Genovese Center. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break on Terrier Sports Network.
It's more than a whistle or a call. We're committed to giving college athletes a fair shot, on and off the field. Covering the full cost of attendance, because college costs go beyond tuition. Keeping dreams on track, regardless of performance or injury. And creating equal opportunities and inclusive environments. It's about respecting college athletes and prioritizing fairness to build a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
Hey, what's up, Rock? Ready for your workout? All right, here we go.
While they're focused on success, we're focused on them. Because protecting college athletes doesn't only happen on the field. After the buzzer, it's about healthier student athletes. So we're reforming to meet their needs. investing in groundbreaking research, and changing the conversation around mental health. We're working hard to protect college athletes because prioritizing their well-being creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
I think it's just the small family that St. Francis helps to foster.
There's quite a variety of personalities and backgrounds at St. Francis College.
It was the generous scholarship that I received.
Being that I was in Brooklyn, I just thought, wow, like it's really beautiful.
I wanted to work in finance, so there's no better place to be than New York.
St. Francis really is the small college of big dreams.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball, a brand that defines us, a brand that tells our story, a brand that doesn't quit. Don't play for yourself. Play for the person next to you. 100% given, 100% of the time. And when there's nothing left, dig deep and find more.
No bench for
All in, ball out, let's get it.
We're focused on the health and safety of college athletes, reforming to meet their needs, investing in groundbreaking research, and changing the conversation around mental health. We're building a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
This is Rob DeVito with the Terrier Sports Network, and I'm joined by new women's volleyball head coach Amable Martinez. Coach, first and foremost, congratulations. What were the emotions like and or feelings when you got the call that you were being offered the position of head coach at St. Francis?
The feeling was it was a fit. It was a fit from the beginning. I felt as soon as I came in, meeting all the administrators, everybody was so welcoming. The small family that drew me to the position. So I was excited. I was excited to have the opportunity and to stay within the tri-state area.
So right back here from the Genovese Center on the campus of St. Francis College, Brooklyn, right here on Terrier Sports Network. I'm Joey Jarzinka. The battle between the women's volleyball Terriers and the Robert Morris University Colonials are just separated by a total of 4 points between two sets here as we head into the third set, currently with Robert Morris ahead 2-0, with the second set being in favor of Robert Morris 25-22. And the Terriers and Genesis Soto will kick things off with the opening serve of the third set. We're underway here in the third set following an alumni little serve that the athletics department allowed. See a point awarded to Robert Morris. So with the first set, in favor of Robert Morris 25-21, in the second set 25-22. Rather was separated by only 7 points. So hitting the tape on that one was Lauren Montgomery, and a quick 2-0 lead for the Colonials. Angeli Ang, Montgomery, and getting the block on that one was Emily Devlin. Nicolette Zanoli. She captured the Stark County Libero of the Year in her hometown in Mason, Ohio. And 3-1 currently is the score, with a service error from Zanoli in the last set. She had 2 reception errors, 12 digs, a total point on the one ace that she had. This is Angie Spiewijk. Back for Eng. Rodriguez the set. Una Stevic. And Zanoli keeping that one alive as well as she could, but unfortunately went just to the left of the near antenna. Angie Spiewijk yesterday had a point, 9 digs, 2 service errors, 2 attacks against St. Francis, PA. She's majoring in business and minoring in philosophy. 4-2 in favor of the Colonials. So now in the rotation, Elena Carmody, first-year freshman out of North Allegheny High School in the Pittsburgh metro area. Here's Rodriguez. Stevic. And Koelnick. And that one will land out. Land just to the left. Volunteer assistant coach Matt Stellick just taking a peek with Koelnick to see if that one was the case. And she did nod her head yes. 6'4" Emma Granger got on that one. And currently right now, Angie Spiewijk should be credited with that point. And that's exactly the case. Koelnick hits the tape, and suddenly the Terriers with a 5-4 lead here in the third set. And it looks like a quick timeout. Here, Lauren Koelnick just double checking right now what the deal is here. And it's definitely going to be an injury. We'll keep that off screen, of course, but Lauren Koelnick right now currently being checked out, and she's going to check out rather, for a quick moment. She is okay. But now checking in her place is sophomore outside hitter Alyssa Hudek. So when we have more information on that, we will pass that along to you. And back here for the game. And Genesis Soto, unfortunately, could not grab that one. That one was off the fingertips and went underneath the net. Match tied here at 5 in the third set. Robert Morris with a 2-0 set lead here on Alumni Day and Pink Weekend from the Genovese Center. Emma Granger with the big attack. Almost a kill. Emma Granger again. Angie Spiewijk, and that one lands out as Una Stevic could not grab that one as she attacks that one on the near side. 6-5 in favor of the Colonials. Stevic back to Granger with the little tip, and that one falls in for the attack and kill. 7-5. Currently leading the way for the Terriers, 9.5 points, 12 digs, 34 attacks, 9 kills is Lauren Montgomery. Eng. And that is Weiss Herkmans. Narrows the lead down to 1, 7-6 with that attack and kill. Genesis Soto checks out. Ali Spiewijk checks in. This is Angeli Eng with the serve from left to right on your screens. Rodriguez. Stevic. Zanoli with the save. Back to Wilt. And Spiewijk doing an amazing job today as Stevich gets credit for the attack and kill, as Emma Granger could not maintain possession of that one. And right now the Terriers with a 7-7 tie. And number 7 will serve. Emma Granger. Back to Wilt. There's Angeli Ang. And Spiewijk gets that one blocked. Or gets her attack blocked there by Granger and Hudek, as Robert Morris takes an 8-7 lead. Granger the service. The bomb that was there, my goodness. That one's going to fall just behind the R1 from off the hands of Alyssa Hudek. And the Terriers right now with an 8 spot on the board and tied up with Robert Morris. Una Stevich with the serve. She didn't play yesterday, undisclosed reason. 3 blockers there for the Terriers. All got up and got one. Montgomery with that one. Here's the second attack there from Wilt. And just got in between the likes of her counterpart, number 3, Weiss Herkmans, and Ali Spiewijk. Robert Morris takes a 9-8 lead once again. Whitney Brown, another one majoring in biology. 3rd in assists in the NEC. And 10th in service aces just a season ago. As we're all tied up at 9 once again. Ali Spiewijk credited with the kill. This is Kizzy Rodriguez. Wilt with the reception. Here's Brown. And Terrace Pittman with the block right back over. Here's Wilt. And just falling past Una Stevich. Could not maintain possession of that one as the Colonials regain the lead by 1, 10-9. Here's Wilt again. And that was Spiewijk. She jumped high, that one. That one's going to fall in as Alfano gets credited with the attack and kill. (11-9) in favor of the Colonials, the biggest lead for the opposition here in the 3rd set. Zanoli. Alfano. Spiewijk. Brown. Zanoli once again. This is Wilt. Stevich could not hold on to that one. And that lead will continue for the Colonials as they take a 3-point lead, and Amable Martinez says, let's hold the phone. We're going to take a timeout here. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, 12-9 is the score in favor of the Colonials right here on the Terrier Sports Network. Alumni Day, Pink Weekend, all coming back to you when we return on the opposite side of this break right here on the Terrier Sports Network. Do not go away.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Back here on the Terriers Sports Network, I'm Joey Jarzinka. We welcome you live to the Genovese Center right here on the campus of St. Francis College, Brooklyn. Your Terriers taking on the #1 ranked Colonials in the Northeast Conference in women's volleyball. And currently coming out of the timeout, a block there for the Terriers gives the Terriers a 2-point deficit, as Ali Spiewijk and Taris Pittman were credited with the block assists. This is Hudek. And Pittman, along with Eng, will get credit for the block assists. So 2 consecutive points following the timeout from Amable Martinez. This match is far from over, folks. This is Genesis Soto with the serve. And Taris Pittman could not hang on as the Colonials extend their lead back to 2. A season ago for the Colonials, an off year for head coach Dale Starr. 11-18, 5-9 in conference play. Did not qualify for the tournament, but a year ago, 14-17 overall, 8-6 in conference play. Slowly coming back, Lauren Montgomery checks off. Angie Spiewijk checks back into the match to serve for the Terriers, down by 1. Spiewijk with the service error, 14-12. And still as Carmody with that serve, with the little dish there from Whitney Brown, gives the Colonials a 3-point lead. So as we did promise you earlier, Lauren Kowelnik was on the bench before. She did come out for an injury timeout. She is okay, standing next to her teammates, as Zanoli falls and dives on that one. Here's Eng, Stevich, and with Emma Granger right there, all 6'4" of her. You can only do so much, and all the credit in the world to sophomore outside hitter Una Stevich, where she can only do so much on that one. Pittman, and it looks like a ball touch on that one, and a double touch, where the Colonials now have extended their lead and broken this one open to 5, 17-12. This is Carmody, Eng, Pittman, Granger with the block. She continues that one. Stevich, Granger got a tip on that one. Granger again, Rodriguez with the save. Here's Stevich again. That one is off the fingertips of Hudek as the Terriers narrow the lead to 4. Kizzy Rodriguez checks out. Taris Pittman to serve as it is her turn in the rotation. Granger with the dig. Weiss Herkmans off of Elena Carmody, and Dale Starr is absolutely furious at his freshman defensive specialist narrows the lead to 3. Here's Pittman once again. Zanoli. Granger with a little tip in front. Pittman gets a hand on it. Stevich. Back to Wilt. And that one's going to go out of bounds off of Angie Spiewijk, with the Colonials extending their lead back to 4. Alyssa Hudek had a season-high 2 service aces against Merrimack just 2 days ago. That one's going to fall in for a point for the Terriers, and coming back into the match is Kowelnik. She's going to replace Hudek. So Kowelnik now, the first time since the second set that we saw her. And this is Angeli Eng. A tall team, Granger getting on that one, and that one looked like it might have been a double. And here comes the challenge. So we don't know, we'll see what he's challenging it on. So they called that one a point on the Terriers. Dale Starr once again completely furious with both officials here, and it is going to be a challenge by head coach Dale Starr. So there were two scenarios here. You have one that it looked like there might have been a touch on the net, and then you have the second one, which is a possibility, and we'll take a peek right now. And they're looking to see if that's exactly what it might be. Either a touch or if it was out. So you have two scenarios, and that's exactly what they're looking for. They're looking to see if it's out, and from what we see here on our monitor, it does look like it hits the pink, which technically means that it would be in. So R2 William Scragg is caught in a rock and a hard place here on this one, because that one is definitely a difficult decision to either overturn or stand. 18-16 is the score. We'll give you a few stats here, as the score currently right now is 18-16, and we'll see what William Scragg has to say following the challenge. So 10.5 points for Maria Alfano, 9 points for Emma Granger, 6 kills, 26 total attacks. Emily Devlin with 3 kills. Lauren Kowelnik, 37 total attacks, 9 kills. On those 37 attacks, 5 of those were errors. Currently 5 total service aces. And they're giving that point to the Terriers. So as we did say, it did look like that it hit the pink tape. So with that being said, once again, head coach Dale Starr not happy, and the point will stand. So currently we've had 4 challenges here on this Saturday afternoon. This is Granger, Rodriguez, Stevich, trying to go right in the middle of Granger and Kowelnik, but Robert Morris comes back. This is Spiewijk. Granger with the little tip and falls in for the point. The aforementioned Emma Granger will now serve. Yesterday against Central Connecticut, she had 21.5 points, 7 block assists, 15 kills, 3 service errors, and 2 digs. Robert Morris with another point here. 20-16 is the score in favor of the Colonials. .6'4" Granger takes the serve. That one just above the tape, about millimeters. And a miscommunication there between the Terriers. And we're going to see a timeout taken here by head coach Amable Martinez. Head coach Dale Starr now has completely changed his emotions, going from not too happy with the officials to pretty happy for his team, currently up by 5 here in the third set. All they need to do is obtain 4 more points, and they head back west with a victory. The Terriers, on the other hand, right now currently are looking to come back and win 1 set, let alone get 5 points. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break, as this timeout will be over in just a short few seconds right here on the Terrier Sports Network.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, If you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
So back here following the timeout taken by head coach Amable Martinez right here on the Terrier Sports Network. The Colonials right now up by 5, and it looks like we're going to see a ball touch. And will Amable Martinez challenge? He will not. Both teams are granted with 3 challenges in the match, and it looks as if that someone did touch the net on that one. We'll get the confirmation in just a moment to see exactly who that was, and we're going to see Emma Granger with a service error on that one. So St. Francis not done yet. And it was a blocking error by Angeli Eng. So this is now Stevich. As we said, she did not play yesterday. Last time she played was against the newly rebranded LIU Sharks, Long Island University Sharks. As Maria Alfano extends the lead now to 6 again, and they are 2 points away from heading back west with a 3-love victory. Here's Brown. Spiewijk. That one is good. The attack and kill. Ali Spiewijk keeps her team alive and narrows the lead to 5. 23-18 is the score. The Toledo, Ohio native registers the attack and kill. This is Robert Morris now. Here's Montgomery, and that one is off of Emily Devlin. Point issued to the Terriers, 23-19, a 4-point lead. This is Kizzy Rodriguez. That was Wilt. Wilt again. Stevich, the set. Spiewijk with the attack, the little dish. Rodriguez, they got to get this one over. Montgomery, and that one's going to come back here. And the Terriers, following the timeout, have narrowed the lead to 3. We're going to see a timeout here taken by head coach Dale Starr. And that could have been one of the best times to take a timeout if you're a coach. So we're going to stay on here on the Terrier Sports Network, and right now we take a peek again at some of the stats here. And Lauren Montgomery with that kill on the Kizzy Rodriguez serve. That is 2 consecutive kills for the senior outside hitter from Montgomery Village, Maryland. No pun intended. That's actually where she's from, Montgomery Village, and her last name is Lauren Montgomery. She last year had 184 sets, which was ranked most on the team. She was named NEC Player of the Week last year. She earned 10-plus kills in 7 matches, 43 digs, 25 block assists in 2018. As we did say yesterday, 15 kills, 17.5 points, 10 digs versus St. Peter's, all were a season high in the victory back on August 31st here in the Terrier Classic, where they won in a 5-set crucial win. So we're back here. We're back here live at the Genovese Center, 23-20 with Zanoli. And the quick attack and kill from Maria Alfano puts the Terriers on life support, as we're going to see a substitution as Alyssa Hudek will check into the match. 24-20 with Erica Wilt looking for the final point. Lauren Montgomery, Angeli Eng, the attack there from Montgomery. This is the set. Keeping it alive was Eng, and coming away, Maria Alfano with the attack and kill. 25-20 in favor of the Colonials. Ladies and gentlemen, the best that we have seen from the Terriers this season here at the Genovese Center. You have just witnessed 25-20 regardless of the score. The effort was there from the Terriers. The Colonials, they advanced to 19-3. They remain undefeated in the Northeast Conference. The Terriers fall to 9-13, 3-5 in Northeast Conference play. And again, waving to the visiting crowd, to the crowd of about 4. And they were loud. They made their voices heard, and they made sure that they head back to Pittsburgh with a victory. Kudos and absolute cheers to head coach Amable Martinez and his Terriers on a hard-fought battle where it was, as you see, the set recap, 25-21, 25-22, and 25-20, the hardest that we have seen any Robert Morris opponent in conference play battle against Dale Stars Colonials. For all of us here on the Terriers Sports Network, Matthew Panico, Marco Toriani, and Connor Keating, and the rest of our Terriers Sports Network crew, I'm Joey Jarzinko. We cannot thank you enough for joining us here on Alumni Day and Pink Weekend. We'll see you soon, and have a great night.
The game of basketball, it demands grit, toughness, competitiveness at the highest level. In the NEC, we've been overlooked, underrated. That just gives us more to prove. Well, it's a new brand of NEC basketball. A brand that defines us. A brand that tells our story. A brand that doesn't quit. Don't play for yourself. Play for the person next to you. 100% given. 100% of the time. And when there's nothing left, dig deep and find more. All in, ball out, let's get it.
We're focused on the health and safety of college athletes, reforming to meet their needs, investing in groundbreaking research, and changing the